to get connected to the audio. We'll go back to where we're starting. Just be another moment. We're almost all there. Okay, so tonight we're going to be meeting our team of doulas. We're each going to take an opportunity to share a bit with you about some products that we think are really great and maybe something you didn't know you needed, and hopefully maybe take some expenses off of your list of things you've been told you need. But help you prioritize what you might be needing. So each of our doulas are going to take a turn at sharing some information. At the end, there's an opportunity for some questions and answers. So if there's anything on your mind as we go through the presentation, please share that in your chat and we can talk about it at the end. If you don't feel like sharing it in a whole group session, we will also have breakout rooms at the end. And that's a great opportunity where you get to meet with each of our doulas and ask them personal questions. It's not recorded. It's just a chance for you to ask what you're wondering and get a chance to build some connections with our team. I'm Amanda. I am also one of the doulas. I'll be sharing a little later in the session. Also with the breakout rooms, if you do not plan on staying for it, could you just let us know in the chat so that we don't have an empty room to hang out in, and we can get started. So our first doula tonight is Maria, and she is a postpartum doula on our team, and I will let you take it away.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. So yeah, thanks for the intro, Amanda. So my tip is to get a nightlight, and this is especially a good idea for night feeding. It's just better than to have an actual light on, because then it could throw baby off and then wake you up, and it might be hard for you to go back to sleep. So a nice little nightlight on the side to help keep a little bit of light so you can see what's going on, make sure baby's okay, and not really disrupt the rest of anybody else who's sleeping. I look forward to meeting you in the breakout rooms.
I'm going to have to remember to keep unmuting myself in between. Sorry about that. Thank you, Maria. Next, we have too many buttons on my screen. Petra, who is our super awesome sleep consultant.
Thank you, Amanda. My name is Petra, and yes, I am a sleep consultant with Helping Hands, and I have many products that I want to share with you, and why I think you might want to have them, might want to invest in them, but I try to keep it to 1 or 2, maybe 3, depending on how much time Amanda's giving me. If she starts playing the music, it means that I have to leave. So we'll see how far we get. So one of the first things that I would recommend that as a parent, as a new parent, you would invest in is a baby carrier, a soft baby carrier. And don't let this whole idea of a baby carrier intimidate you. The reason why I recommend investing in a baby carrier is because when babies are, before they're being born, so their previous living space in the womb, it is warm, it is snug, it is noisy, they are very close to you, they are all folded up. And then when they're out in the world, everything is loosey-goosey, there's lots of stuff happening for them. They are not so close to you. So they love to be close to you. They love to be carried by you. When you have one of these soft baby carriers, like it's this really long piece of fabric and it's stretchy. As I said, don't let that intimidate you. Go to YouTube. YouTube is your best friend. See how you put it on. Practice, maybe even during your pregnancy, if you haven't delivered your baby yet. Practice putting it on. Practice putting a stuffy in there, or a baby doll if you have one, and read the guidelines on how to safely wear a baby. When a baby is in a carrier with you, they are feeling very snug. It's really it's very similar to their previous living space, your womb. So baby carrier all the way, especially when your baby is getting into that part of being a little bit fussy, late afternoon, early evening. And we talk a lot more about that during our newborn sleep workshop. So little tip, sign up for that one too. And when they are fussy, when they don't know if they want to sleep, if they are feeling restless, if they are hungry, if they don't want to eat, they don't know what to do with themselves, pop them into the baby carrier, hold them close to you, and then you take it from there. So love the baby carrier. One other product that I would like to recommend is blackout blinds. There are some really good blackout blinds out there. The reason why is because I often hear my clients say, I don't know if I want to use blackout blinds. I think my child needs to learn to sleep during the day with daylight. And then I'm wondering, like, how well do you sleep during the day when the sun is in your face? So think about those things. So invest in blackout blinds. There are now blackout blinds that you can use at home, and they come with suction cups. You can put them on your windows. And then if you would travel, or if baby goes to the grandparents or anywhere else, you fold it up, has a really nice bag to carry in, and you take it with you. So you have your blackout blind, one investment. You have your blackout blind, and you take it with you right there. So those are my two ones. I don't hear music playing yet, but I know somebody else is going to talk about this, probably a white noise machine, and she's probably going to do a really great job with explaining about that. So three of my favorite items: a baby carrier, a soft wrap like the Moby wrap, blackout blinds, and a white noise machine. Thank you, and hope to see you in the breakout rooms.
Thank you, Petra. I did not know you could get blackout blinds like that. That is very cool. I'll be sharing that with clients.
Yeah, they are very new and on the market, and they are great. I use them myself if I sleep during the day after night work. So recommend them. They're great.
Thank you. Next, we are going to, I think Christy actually is working with a client right now. So we are going to skip.
I'm here.
Oh, you are here. There you are. Yay. We aren't skipping Christy.
I'm not on video, but I guess you're not doing video anyway. But here I am. I'm on the 427. So you don't need to look at my face. So I loved what Petra said. Like initially my first number one thing was going to be the soft stretchy wrap. But Petra did a wonderful job explaining it. So I'll just throw my endorsement behind her, +1 for the stretchy wrap. Aside from that, I'd love to bring your attention to your perineum. So this is like a big scary thing for a lot of expectant parents. Like, what is my down there going to be like after I've had a baby? Yes, it can be quite swollen. It can be painful. It's not excruciatingly painful, but it's a lot better if you know how to care for it. So the new product that I like, I hope maybe Drew, you've put a picture up. I can't quite see, sorry. But they have these new peri bottles. There's one by, sorry, I'm having a brain fart. Drew, help me. What's the brand name?
Freedom Mom.
Freedom Mom, thank you. There's one by Freedom Mom that actually has like a bent applicator on it. So you could go like very low tech and use like an old Dove dishwashing liquid bottle and fill that up with warm water each time and spray your perineum when you go to the toilet. But this Freedom Mom one has taken some of the complication out of it by making it angled so you don't have to like break your wrist to get at all of the parts that need to be accessed with the warm water. So what this does, this warm water, it's sometimes that first time you go to the toilet is really scary, and it's hard for you to know how to relax those muscles the same way, to let your urine go. Allowing a bit of warm water to go over the area can help you to initiate that first pee after you've had a baby, as well as sometimes urine flowing over stitches. If you've had any stitches, can be really, like, it stings a lot. So that warm water will dilute it. And then thanks to this product, it goes exactly where you want it to go. I always like to advocate for warm stuff for perineal healing as opposed to cold stuff. And one of my other favorite things to do is the sitz bath. But if you don't have a sitz bath, or you're not inclined to sit in a sitz bath, you can use the same sort of herbs that you can buy from Earth Mama Angel Baby or any other brand for postpartum sitz bath blend. Make that tea up and put it in your peri bottle and spray it over your perineum each time that you go to the toilet. The other thing I want to recommend is not got to do with any products, but using the water to clean yourself as well as you can, and then just using toilet paper to pat dry. You don't want to try and wipe anything down there. A, it's because it's going to sting, and B, if you've had any stitches, you can actually end up disturbing the stitches. So you don't want to do that. Let the peri bottle do all the work for you. That's about all I have to say about that. Thanks, Drew. Drew, are you there? Are we good?
I'm here. I'm sorry.
Okay. It's okay.
My screen did funny things to me. Gotta love technology.
That's okay. I didn't know if maybe my phone got cut off and I was just talking to air for the last 3 minutes or something. But anyway,
Nope,
we're good. We're on track, right?
Perfect. Thank you, Christy. Okay, and next up we have Esther.
Hi, everyone. My name's Esther. I'm a birth and postpartum doula with Helping Hands. So my favorite recommendation is the baby nail buffer. So one of my main scariest fears for when I had both my kids was the fear of cutting their nails, because they're so teeny tiny and they're so delicate. And you just don't want to go at it with a pair of clippers because you don't want to clip their skin. So I found this like nail buffer on Amazon. It's super affordable, it's cordless, and it's very delicate and gentle, and it stops right at the skin. So you never really have a chance to go too deep with the nail. It's really beautiful, it's really easy to use, and I highly recommend it. And there's no fear in using it. The second item that I recommend is actually something that you probably all will be purchasing anyways, like a baby bouncer. So my recommendation is to have one upstairs or near your bathroom where you're going to be showering. Put it in the shower whenever you want to shower, so that you can put baby inside and then you can see the baby through the shower, and you can, you know, feel comfortable and confident, and then you can just shower for as long as you like while baby sleeps. Bouncers are amazing. Honestly, I would have two. If you have a house, buy two. Put one upstairs, put one downstairs, and then you never have to carry them up and down. Nice meeting you all. Looking forward to talking to you more in the breakout rooms.
Thank you, Esther. I love the bouncer idea. It was quite handy with my girls too, especially the one who liked to scream a lot. Then I knew she was actually just fine. Next, we are going to hear from me. I'm Amanda Kennedy. I'm a postpartum doula with Helping Hands, and my product is a little different. My product is actually not a product. I like to think that less is more. I love hearing all the ideas. I think anything anyone is willing to hand me down to you and share is great. Take anything that's offered. You do not know at all what's going to work. Some things are going to work with first baby, not going to work with second baby. Maybe it didn't work at all with first baby and will be fantastic with second or third baby, or may not work at all for any, or you might not like it. So know what's available, be prepared, use these ideas tonight to say what is out there and what might be something I could need. This seems to be a problem that I'm experiencing. What were some of their tips? But ultimately, my biggest suggestion, and I don't mean this to sound like a marketing gimmick for us, but honestly, invest in support, whether that is professional support from doulas or sleep consultants or support from friends and family. That's going to come in so handy when you need to have a nap or a shower or just want to sit down and have a bite to eat. really support is what everyone needs. And support is the reason I started working as a doula, because that was the piece that was missing for me a lot of the times when I was looking after my little ones. So I had all the tools, but I didn't have the support. And so I really think that's where our financial investment is best spent, and time is best spent, especially because having babies is expensive. So you want to spend your money wisely. The next participant tonight is Mika, who is listening in, but actually at a walk-in with her daughter. So I am going to share hers for her because I think it is a great one. So I'm just going to read what she sent me. Her product is a swaddle, and I think this is a fantastic idea as well. She says, swaddling protects your baby against their natural startle reflex, which means better sleep for both baby and you, which is incredibly important. It may help calm a colicky baby. It helps eliminate anxiety in your baby by imitating your touch, which helps your baby learn to self-soothe. It can be tricky because some babies do like to fight the swaddle, and there's some situations with feeding where you want to be careful with it. But in general, swaddling is a fantastic tool, and there's lots of different options and styles out there that we'd be happy to talk to you about and give you some suggestions with. But swaddling is definitely a fantastic idea. Our next doula is Mandeep.
Hi, everyone. I am Mandeep, and I am a postpartum doula with Helping Hands. Nice to meet you all. And I'm going to be talking about the genius invention, the two-way zipper onesies, sleepers. And these are basically a replacement, in my opinion, of all the sleepers that have the snap buttons. After seeing these zipper sleepers, I do not like the snap buttons anymore. So whenever I see those sleepers, I always cringe because you have to try to match up all the buttons every single time, and trying to fidget, especially in the middle of the night, trying to finagle through all the buttons, and while the baby's crying and freaking out, and you're trying to settle the baby. But I just want to say that these are so practical and handy to have. Like I said, especially for those in the middle of the night changes, when it's so dark, you don't know what you're doing, you can't see anything. You literally unzip so there's two ways. So there's one zipper at the top and there's one zipper at one of the foot. You literally from the foot all the way up, zip up, unzip, take the baby out from the feet, change the diaper, put the diaper on, and zip them back. Done. End of story. And anybody can do this, no problem. Your husband, no problem. Your significant other, no problem. Your parents, the grandparents, the siblings. Anybody can take on and help change the diaper, changing the diaper, because I think that these are such a brilliant invention and makes the diaper changing process so much more easier. And that's it for me, and hopefully I get to meet you all in the breakout rooms.
Thank you, Mandeep. The first time I saw one of those sleepers, I was like, where were those when my kids were little? They're amazing. And every time I have to use snaps, I'm like, I want the zipper back. So they are a fantastic idea. Next, we have the wonderful Sarah.
Hello, hi, sorry. I am driving, so just trying to navigate my GPS and Zoom while being safe. Hello, everybody. Oh my goodness, such wonderful ideas from everybody so far. And I'm also a birth and postpartum doula with Helping Hands. So my product that I wanted to talk about today is birth cloth. Birth cloth. I find these kind of to be a savior for kind of your outfit as well as babies. Because spit up happens, so it can definitely, like I said, be a savior. Not have to change either your outfit or the baby's outfit every time a little spit up happens. You kind of just throw one of those over your shoulder when you're burping, or kind of hold on to it if you're, depending on the position that you're doing for burping, but they can be super helpful. Another thing I kind of just thought of, which would kind of be helpful just in case, because, it's still, I can't tell you how many times I've been spit up on, regardless of if I had a birth cloth or not, but a good stain remover that is also safe for babies, whether it be, spit up doesn't generally stain, but there's definitely when they have an explosive diaper that can stain. So I would definitely recommend a baby safe stain remover. And that can be used kind of not just for that. So that's always helpful to have anyway. But yeah, so that is mine. Thank you. And thanks, Amanda.
Thank you, Sarah. Those are very practical and great, useful tips for everyone, I think. And our last doula to speak is Miss Sharon Clements.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I am a postpartum doula with Helping Hands, and I primarily do the overnights. So what my thing to talk about tonight is things that you don't need, because I find they try and sell you so many things for your baby, and a lot of them just get left in the closet or used once and put away. So I just wanted to tell you some things that you have around the house that in a pinch you could use. And my favorite thing is the hairdryer. So I learned about the hairdryer trick on one of my first shifts when I was shadowing another amazing doula. And so with the hairdryer, as Petra said, there are sounds of a sound machine that are very soothing to a baby. And as they grow, different decibels apparently are more effective than others. But the hairdryer is like magic. If you have your baby absolutely screaming, losing their mind, it is so funny, because as soon as you take them and turn on the hairdryer, that anxiety is gone from them. They're just like, oh, hey, what's that? So it really does calm them. And in a pinch, it is one of the best things that you can do, is just use your hairdryer. The other thing with the hairdryer is I love to keep it on the change table, because I turn it on when I'm changing the baby. I face it towards the wall, and that way it's warming up the area where I am going to be changing the baby's diaper. And it just helps to keep them warm. They don't usually like getting their diaper changed because they don't like to be cold. So this just helps them to stay warm, warms up the area, plus you have the sound. And it's also something I recommend after the bath, or, when you're taking the baby from the tub. If you've had the hairdryer pointing towards their towel for a few minutes, now they have a nice warm towel. You've warmed up the area where you're bathing, and you've got the sound, and you're going to have the happiest little camper that you could believe. So that is my favorite pick. I have so many things that I think people are spending money on stuff that they really don't need to. I can hopefully share a lot more when we do the chat rooms, because I've been told I talk too much. So I am only allowed to talk about one thing tonight. So hopefully I'll meet you guys in the chat room, and I can give you so many more. So thanks, Amanda, for giving me this opportunity, and everyone for joining us. And back to Amanda.
Thank you, Sharon. And I love the idea of using things around the house. Even the fan on your oven, the hood fan, is a great loud noise that a lot of babies really love. And we don't always have to be spending money on things to find stuff that works. There's lots of great products to purchase too, but it's really great when we can save a little bit of money. Take this opportunity right now, if there's any questions at all that pertain to this or anything in general that we can discuss in the group as a whole, you can send a message in the group chat. I'll give you a moment if there's anything you're thinking, and then that gives an opportunity for any of our doulas to answer before we start the breakout rooms. So I'll give you a moment to think about that, and then I'll explain how the breakout rooms are going to work. Okay, so we have a question from Andrea. She said that she thinks, or her husband thought that swaddling prevented babies from growing, so they didn't use it with their first. However, she's thinking of doing it with her second, but not sure how to approach that. Who would like to answer? I've done lots of talking tonight, so I'm going to let someone else grab it.
I would love to if there's no one else. I am a big believer in swaddling, and if your husband is there, no, it doesn't stop your baby from growing. It doesn't prevent your baby from growing. What a swaddle does is that it imitates the previous living space, so they are snug. You keep their hands across their chest, and you make sure that their hip area is still free so they can have movement with their hips. And when you have the hands across the chest, they can have access to their hands when they need to eat. You start swaddling after a baby is over their birth weight and feeding is established. So those are all really important things. The one thing why you do swaddle a baby is to prevent their moral reflex, so that when you put a sleeping baby back down into the bassinet and you have to put them on their back, they don't wake themselves up, because they have the feeling that they're in a free fall. So automatically, this is what they are going to do. It's part of their moral reflex. There is no evidence anywhere of babies not growing because of being in a swaddle. The only thing that I can think of is that when a baby's in a swaddle and their hands are not closed, parents might miss feeding cues. So you really want to have their hands closed so that they can give you those feeding cues. As I said, you want to start swaddling after babies over their birth weight when feeding is well established, and when they, I mean, I've never had this question before actually, but no, there's nothing that is preventing them when they are swaddled from growing. I hope this answers your question.
Thank you, Petra. That's awesome. Also, I know with the swaddle, if you're just being cautious of how tightly it's wrapped around your hips, the baby's hips, then that might be one of the areas of concern, but that should be a loose swaddle. It's really the tightness around the upper body. So maybe that's what he was thinking of as well. We do have a couple other questions. One is about our geographical areas that we cover, and then one about how many hours per week people usually use postpartum service for. Both of those questions actually have quite long answers because they're quite varied. So when we do join the breakout rooms, you can ask lots of great questions for the doulas in the breakout rooms. Also, Giovanna, our client care coordinator, can really go into detail with that on you, and you have a call with her to talk about our services. Giovanna, I don't know if you want to add anything extra to that conversation right at this moment.
I can definitely answer that question about how many hours per week a person usually uses postpartum support. So the average person will use a postpartum doula from newborn to 2 months of age. And it's a very customizable service here at Helping Hands Doula. So if you just need one shift for education and some information and some training, or if you need some ongoing support, you can use anything from 1 day shift of 5 hours to every day and every night if that's what you needed. We're going to be here to help you along the journey and help you as much as you need or as little as you need. So it's a very customizable service that you can have here at Helping Hands Doula. And I can definitely talk to you in person about that. Okay.
Thank you. Now, if that is all the questions, I think we will hopefully get started with our breakout rooms. Just going to give you a little rundown of how they work. So essentially, there'll be doulas in different rooms and you will pop in and out of them. So you will kind of just be pulled from a room. We do give a heads up when it's going to be happening, but you have to watch at the top real quick. It will be roughly 5 minutes for each group. And you can ask anything and everything and just try to keep an eye out. But if you don't see that warning and you see new doulas popping in and out, that's just kind of a cue that it's going to be changing. And then, you know, try to wrap up the sentence, but sometimes we get to finish another person's sentence for them. So just hang tight and we'll get everyone settled in rooms. Thank you so much.